Welcome. This is Crime Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we get excited about love. This is where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile, makes us laugh. Hence, we say the crimson light is life. So, the crimson light is our journey to actualizing soulful love. This is where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we are actualizing love with getting the vibration of the numbers and really getting a sense of how we can optimize our own personal vibration in match with these words and numbers. Okay, I'm going on a bit, but let's look at the word spell because we are looking at number 10. Of course, if you're new to this channel, this is what we hinge on. We hinge on to the word sacrifice. This is Mother Eve, and I could urge that you check out my templates. It's like a template of a sacrificial journey. There's one template. I think that is very it it really explains a lot about how we got onto this template. And intuitive, there's another one. It's like infinitely eight, okay, an intuitive template that explains all the vibrations. Okay, an intuitive template, something thereabout. But there are so many. In fact, it'd be nice to kind of link them together so I can make those references. But with the numerical value here, we see how the word sacrifice equals 46, and of course 4 plus 6 is 10. With 9 letters, we say it is a number or a word that births newness. Of course, that's what Christ's sacrifice was about, to birth redemption or a sense of acceptance of or redemption from sin and into being saved, so to speak. So back to spell. Now, of course, there's the thing about one can cast the spell. That came to mind. And then, of course, I was back in kindergarten when I was asked to spell a cat, C-A-T, or bat, B-A-T. Everything was with A, of course. Now, that really, now, if you use the word spell, that would mean it would have a sort of negative vibration to it in some cases to some people. But however, it is yet the very first thing that we learn as children. When we learn to spell, you are asked to spell. So when you are asked to spell something, you are actually asked to create to cast a spell. Of course, you create magic. That's what we, and of course we were praised when we got it right. So now we have the adverse to this, as if we have become too bright for boots. So we shouldn't cast spells. All right, that's just my bit on that subject here. Let's look at the numerical value here. So 3 plus 3, 6, and 5, 11, and 7 is 17. 11 and 7 is 18, and 1 19. So this is 19. Now 1 plus 9 is 10. Okay. So that takes us back to, this is, I use the analogy about being in kindergarten and you were really casting magical spells. Magical spells were that you were in a position of really showing the dynamics of whatever it was when you were able to say B A T. You were showing the 10 aspects, you were showing the nature. That's the thing. Here 10 is really showing the nature of a thing. So hence it was going back, we go back to the first verse of the Bible, which consists of 10 words to really say everything. Those 10 words tell you everything when it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's it. And everything else was to say what happened in that process of creation. So that's what spell is about, and that's exactly what number 10 is. Oh, I'm quite pleased with this explanation. I think it has really done it. Now, but if that is really saying that that's the nature of a thing, and of course it could be anything, meaning 10 is really showing the dynamics, no, perhaps not even so much the dynamics, the whatever something consists of. It was just showing what it consists of, the blocks, the building blocks, or the sand and cement, the water and stones, or the worker and the carpenter and the wood. And that's what it's all about. It's not whether it is positive or negative, that's what it's about. The inventor and his idea. So let's cast some spells. That's what it's really about. Going from 1 to 9. So, like being able to say bat, you are going from 1 to 9. So here we are really going from 1 to 9. So 1 to 9, when we use the word 10 or the number 10, in fact, I will do a numerical value for the word 10 in the next presentation. So we are looking at number 1. 1, as I said, it's when we do which is a straight stroke. When we do that, we see that it equals 3. So 1 has in it, this is where we see in Christianity when it says the Trinity and and God is one. So we see when we do straight hair, that coincides with that verse or that understanding that God is 3 in 1. That 3 is a vibration. It's that vibration that constitutes or consists of that working. It's like the 1 has been, it has taken on a shape. And it's that shape that has now got that 3 names to it, if you like. It has that body, mind, and spirit aspect to it. It is a vibration. It's like a house is made of sand, cement, and water. So those I know it may seem like a lame excuse, but it's just like, for instance, saying the 1 has that much in it. It's the workings or it's the construct of that 1. That's that free vibration. Okay, then it takes us, so that is where we do our jazz, and hence the jazz is really where we are. Of course, you know what jazz is. Jazz music, or it's the mix and match, or it's the different types of music coming in together, or beats, and forming a nice rhythm where we can really just do our jazz. So that's what we are talking about. Then we have that 2. Of course, we had done the numerical value where we saw that first also consists of 3, or is it 7? Let's just do first as well. First. First equals 9. I have done this. And there was something that we did that equals 2. Of course, 1, we are looking at 1. So when we do the numerical value for 1, we see it equals 7. We have done this. So actually, those one not only has three in it, like the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, it also is seven. So when we do, so the seven is the sixth day. This is why we are looking at things closely. So one consists of that. We could say there was one creation in that sense. We could say one thought, one act, because that one thought, when if God says, let there be light, for instance, it was one thought, but that one thought may consist of different aspects to it. Well, let there be light. Where is the light going to be positioned? Is it up or is it down? Is it in the north or is it in the south? Or those kind of things. Or so here we have one also is showing seven. So we are of the sixth day of creation and the seventh day of rest. So everything, or we all are in this one. And in that one, we are in a oneness. So hence the word ness. Oneness. We are in that ness because we are one. So this is 5511, which is 12. 5 plus 5 plus 2 is 12. So we could see how that 12 comes about as well, coinciding with 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, the 12 months of the year, all the 12s that we have, which when we add 12, 1 plus 2 together, it takes us back to that free vibration of number 1. That free vibration of 1 being straight. So, of course, we see that free is very dynamic in that sense. Okay. So it's that kind of, now I think it would be fair to say this is what we perhaps should be concentrating on, really casting our spells of understanding numerology in a way that helps us to become better expressions and versions of who we truly are. So then it just gives me something quite delicious to hinge onto. Let's say that we are casting spells in that sense of understanding numerology, because it seemed to require a certain working. So that makes us, or we have to show that we are competent at understanding our makeup by being mirrors to each other. And by being mirrors to each other, we can actualize self-full love, because then we can see ourselves in the other. So, I just like the idea of the spell thing, really. So, okay, so spell is from 1 to 9, and we also had first. Okay, first is first takes us okay, 20, 27. First is 27, and which is understandable because this is where we go into being impregnated with all the wonderful things of the garden that God had granted us. So here we are in agreement. There was something with the two that I was trying to work out as well. Another working that I did on the last presentation with two. Okay, which I felt was really showing how the 3 and 2 were interrelated here. Okay, so just of course with the 7, of course. So I was also showing here with this numerical value, because A is holds that one numerical value, of course, here. But when we do the numerical value for 1, as I have shown, it equals 2. So we could say that that one came or is presented here in that agreement. Okay. And of course, as I say, with the six, this is where we are impregnated with goodness to replenish, subdue, increase, and have dominion. Quite a lot. Okay. And of course, in this first segment, as I continue to say, with that free vibration, this is where we can see how lucky we are with that W under the water. This is where we are making reflections of our actions, our activities. There is a C both up and isn't that interesting? There's a sea here as well, meaning that we can see our reflections in the water. Here's the W, the word water, as I have mentioned before, is there we make that reflection. And there in the sack, although we have been fed in the sack, but there we are on three, we are seeing how lucky we are. And here to go with R, which takes us back into that three. That's the new stage here, like where Eve ate of the fruit and found herself in that new dimension. Of course, before eating of the fruit, we could say they were going in circles. Perhaps this is the north, south, east, and west circle that they had gone in that developmental stage where it was said, and God said, Adam, where are you? Well, where art thou? I think he said, where are you? Where the blazers are you? But okay. And so here, um, of course, was he in the north, was he in the south, was he in the east, was he in the west? This is where we go through that developmental stage. Now, wherever he was, it would have seemed that um, he was he became aware of his position, and it said that he hid. That's the that's what we have created, that ability now, or illusion, or whatever it is that we have created to give us a sense of experience on this earth. That's what happened here. This is why I can say I'm going up north or south or east or west so I can enjoy the garden. That's what it was about, of course. Eating of the fruit, they found themselves in that new dimension. They nailed it with that T. And then, of course, on that journey with Fox City, Gypsy Journey, headquarters, pay their dues to the Inland Revenue. Of course, they will. It was said that's when God sent them to the far east of the garden. The far east of the garden of Eden, the Eden or East. East is still nine. Nine was there. They were birthing newness, birthing the lessons for us. Okay. All right. I hope you have found this insightful. I would like to think that it's another way of looking at the story. It's another way of looking at our north, south, east, and west and making sense of it. If it doesn't make sense, okay, but at least we are looking at it. We are seeing where it resonates, where it makes sense, so where it serves us. And if we can have something to serve us well, why not? Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this somewhat fun. Please leave your comments, like, subscribe, and let's get on this journey together, because this is how we do it, by sharing, of course, and by loving. So, thank you. Namaste.